Hey, how's it going, guys? Ancient Rune here, back with another Palworld video, and today I'll be going over an updated raid boss guide. This is including Xenolord, as well as Blazamut Ryu and Bellanoir and Bellanoir Libero. I do have an old video on it, which still works, but there also are some better options, and this was not going to have, like, pals with bred down skills, but I do have, like, some perfect bred pals. And instead of going 50 pals, I'll be showing off 15, because in my last video I did it and some people didn't like that I had 50 pals, but really it just makes it so it's like the clear time is faster and it doesn't make it not viable. And anyways, you'd probably still be switching out pals even if you didn't have perfect ones. So keep in mind, even though I have perfect pals here, you do not need perfect pals. So if you're at 15 or 50, it just means one, your clear time is going to be slower, and two, you are just going to have to swap out pals more when they go down. So first off, you're going to want a good location. My location doesn't really matter. I don't know if there's like a best location for this. If there is, let me know, because I'd love to do that. But I am at, what is it, negative 261, positive 52, just on this island because it's a nice flat open area. I suggest being flat and making sure your pals don't get thrown and knocked off. I have found that sometimes my pals are knocked away over here where there's trees, which has been annoying, so I may keep searching for the best option. I know a lot of people like to use this tower here, but I've been using that for some other stuff. But I may have to make the swap since we're going to be doing the first tier, which is Bellanoir and Bellanoir Libero. We're going to want pals for that. And the best one I found, without going to like higher raid bosses, is going to be Jet Dragon, since it is a dragon type. Some other stuff you could use is like Jormuntide or Jormuntide Ignis. But here I like to go Jet Dragon since he just has really high stats. And also for all these, I recommend going Vampiric. You don't need to, but it helps those pals survive. You also have the normal stuff like Demon God, Serenity, Legend. You can also look out for Musclehead, Ferocious, Impatient. I have an old video on how to maximize pal damage, as well as I'm going to be soon working on an updated one with new passives and everything. But that is going to be a guide you can look out for. So that first phase with Jet Dragon is going to take it down really easy. I have Meteor Rain, Beam Comet, and Dragon Meteor. I'm sure Beam Slicer would also do really good. You can mess with those, as well as just a bunch of other skills that could be thrown on from Skill Fruit. But that's what I like to go here. You can also go Blazamut Ryu, but at that point, you're past Bellanoir Libero, but for faster farming, Blazamut Ryu is probably going to be better. It just has some better skills. Unfortunately, you can't get Meteor Rain, which seems like a really cool skill, but that's fine because these guys still do amazing. And same with the passives, Vampiric, Demon God, Serenity, Musclehead. Just no Legend since it can't be bred on, since you have to breed a Blazamut Ryu with a Blazamut Ryu. But still very good passives and clears just fine. And then when Bellanoir Libero goes into the ice phase, we're going to use a Blazamut. You could also use a Jormuntide Ignis, which I don't have, but I like to go Blazamut just because it has some more stuff. Now, what I don't have on here is Firewall, I believe it is, which I normally go. Actually, not Firewall, it's Flame Wall, which I get from Skill Fruits, so I do still have to get that on here instead of Ignis Rage. I just don't really like Ignis Rage. I have to pay more attention to it in like these big enemies, because with the smaller enemies it's harder for me to hit, but with these raid bosses it might be better. But Blazamut is the way I go here. And then we have Blazamut Ryu, which is first off a Dragon Fire type, and with that, we're going to use Phalaris Aqua. I tried Dormant Tide as well, and Phalaris Aqua was so much better. I think a big part of it is that since it is just water attack, it will do its base attack while its skills are in cooldown, which is water, where Dormant Tide's base attack is going to be dragon, so it doesn't have a good matchup, so that's lower. And also Phoenix Tide I think is just a lot better. I also don't think I had Curtain Slash on it. I can check. No, I didn't have Curtain Slash. I only had Aqua Burst, Hydro Laser, and Slither Slam. So if I get like either Breathing, or I think it can be a fruit, that could be better, but Phalaris Aqua is just so good here, and I would recommend over it. And then it's going to go into Electric, and I found Inoculum to be the best option. There is also Anubis, but it felt slower than Inoculum. So you could also just kind of mix them up, but Inoculum was, for me, the better option. I use Sand Twister, Rock Lance, and Ground Cutter. You also have Rock Burst available, and whatever ground type passives or ground type skills you throw on it, but Inoculum was my way to go. And then you have Xenolord, which is a Dragon Dark type. Since Dragon is strong against Dark type, we can't use a Dragon type enemy because it'll also be resistant to Dragon, so we use Ice type. And with that, I go either Bastigor or Frostallion. Now, I can't tell if there's like an exact better here. They seem very, very close. I have to get, double Blizzard Spike. I'm going to have to get that on some Bastigors and try that out, maybe without Frost Talon, because Glacial Impact and Diamond Rain are really good. But they're just still both insanely good and worth it. With Bastigor right now, I'm going Frost Talon, Diamond Rain, and Glacial Impact. And then with Frost Talon, I'm going double Blizzard Spike, Crystal Wing, because I don't have Glacial Rain, I think, what is it called? Or Diamond Rain. I don't have it on Frostallions right now, but automatically have it on Bastigor. And that will hold him to the whole time, since he doesn't have a second phase like the other ones. And when going with Ultra, you're going to need a lot of these just for any of them. Of course, with the lower tier ones, once you get better pals, they're going to be easier, but stuff like Xenolord, you're going to want a lot. So if you can't just use 15, even with Vampiric, especially with Xenolord, it is going to be a challenge, and you're going to want a lot of pals because you're just going to want to keep switching them out. And you yourself can also do damage. I won't go over all of that because I have a separate video on that as well, so it's not really worth explaining. It's outdated, but I'll be doing an updated one, but still works for the info you need. And then you can also add food like Mamorest curry, anything that will increase attack, you can put into a food bowl and then have those pals eat it, and then we'll just clear faster. That's really min-maxing it. For Xenolord, it honestly might be worth it though, because I found like I'm almost clearing before all my pals die with Xenolord, and then I have to switch them out. But that's with perfect stats. So my result is going to be different. And then this is just a little base I made purely for recharging my pals, as pals will restore health and sanity while in the pal box, and you can have food, but it is just so much faster throwing them in. You just throw a bunch of these in here and they will go to the pal beds and the hot springs and get food as needed, and then it's done really fast. And then once you're at max health, have enough food and high sanity, then you can just put them back in and go again. But I'll just go over the base. The location does not matter. I went with an unraidable area where I have on the top of this island, which is at -81, +193. And I just have a frost stallion. This is the only pal I keep here at all times, with salad in here. The food doesn't really matter too much, but salad is something easy I make in large abundance, so I go with that. And I would also make sure you have a medicine cabinet with some meds in it. I have some in here. And then really the placement of these don't matter at all. I have these what are they? Pal pods. I have 50 of them here. They fit so much better than the other beds, so I have that here, and I have them on both sides because they can just walk over to the other side from here and then hop in and just rest here. I think it's around 20. I think it's about even on both sides, a little bit more, but you can just see here. And then I just put hot springs all around the edge here. And then I just put a couple on the inner circle where I have these beds just to put more in. I may take them away just because I don't think I need them, and then it allows for hopefully better pathing with pals, but I still need to experiment more on that and learn pathing better. And then I just placed this snowman here for better chilling, and then a placement for throwing this guy in here and keeping him there. And this was just from making all these. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If I missed any pals, make sure to let me know. There's a lot of pals out there, and I'm sure there's still plenty that are good, but I just tried to go for like the best I could find. I see people doing Jormuntide Ignis, and I probably will mess more with that, but I really just like having Brawn Impact, as it feels just really good for me. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.